Nigel Farage with a warning to Brexiteers today on Sky News. I'm going to bring you all the very latest on this, guys. But as ever, remember to click subscribe and the bell so you don't miss future reports. Now, Nigel was on Sky News this morning with Sophie Ridge, of course, talking about his friend Donald Trump, the US president. Of course, we send our best regards to the president. Hope he makes a quick recovery. But specifically on Brexit, Nigel asked to give his lie of the land. And don't forget, over the years, Nigel has been absolutely spot on in terms of the trajectory and predictions of much of what was going to happen. And he said on Sky today that in terms of the comments from Ursula von der Leyen yesterday, reminding Boris Johnson and the government that we did sign a new European treaty last year called the Withdrawal Agreement. Nigel said he senses there will be a compromise. He said, I sense there will be a deal before the end of the year, and it's one that will not fully satisfy many Brexiteers. So that's certainly, I would say, a warning shot, something to take into consideration. You can rely on Westminster all the way through this. We've dissected and gone into what's actually been going on at the heart of these negotiations. The EU still making massive demands in terms of the level playing field and on fisheries. Will the government actually hold firm and potentially walk away with no deal? We'll have to see. But Nigel calls it right a hell of a lot, and he thinks that there will be a deal before the end of the year, but it will be one that does not fully satisfy many Brexiteers. I'd take that as a clear warning for many Brexiteers to look at what actually happens at the conclusion of these negotiations. Now, Nigel was asked by Sophie Ridge whether an unsatisfactory deal could propel him back into the political scene. Nigel saying, let's see where we go with this. But Nigel said if they completely drop the ball on Brexit, if we finish up stuck with a level playing field, unable to be competitive, then there are many more battles to be fought. And as you know, guys, I've talked about the level playing field time and time again. This blatant attempt to curtail, to stop, to cut off Brexit competitive advantage. The EU absolutely terrified about the huge possibilities and opportunities and advantages Brexit can bring. Hence, they want us to sign up to a whole set of rules across a vast range of subjects, completely, particularly focused on areas like state aid. Now, Boris Johnson and Ursula von der Leyen did speak yesterday. They also issued a joint statement, and I'll just put that out and you can make your own mind up. The President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, and the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson spoke today, this was yesterday, about the state of play in the negotiations on the future relationship between the UK and the EU. They agreed on the importance of finding an agreement, if at all possible, as a strong basis for a strategic EU-UK relationship in future. They endorsed the assessment of both chief negotiators that progress had been made in recent weeks, but that significant gaps remained, notably but not only in the areas of fisheries, the level playing field, and governance. They instructed their chief negotiators to work intensively in order to bridge those gaps. They agreed to speak on a regular basis on this issue. Now, the date to have in mind for this is the 15th of October. That was the date that Boris Johnson very explicitly, very publicly said that is the date by which there needs to be an agreement. Otherwise, the UK will effectively move on and assume WTO no deal is the way forward. We saw Boris Johnson on BBC's Andrew Marr show today. He said that it's still his intention to get a deal, but he thinks the country could do well mightily, even under a no-deal Australia-style outcome. So that was Boris Johnson today. But I do think, it's somewhat significant that Nigel's saying he expects a deal to be done, but that Brexiteers, there are probably going to be aspects of this they're not going to be happy about. The thing that's been rumoured, I've reported before, is this idea of the UK offering the EU a 3-year fisheries transition, i.e. European fishing fleets entitlements wind down all the way to 2024. Bearing in mind he voted to leave in 2016. That's a hell of a long time, obviously. But of course, Lord Frost saying on Friday that there was a very large gap still on fisheries between the UK and the EU. So as ever, guys, there are reports of what could potentially be talked about, but you have to credit Lord Frost at least for saying the right things, appearing to hold the line, and we'll see what happens. But as ever, it's fundamental to all of this that no deal will always be better than a bad deal. As ever, guys, you can rely on the Westminster channel to keep updating you on all the latest on Brexit and these negotiations. If you've enjoyed this report, if you found it helpful and informative, please click the thumbs up button, click subscribe and the bell so you don't miss future reports. Thanks for watching.